So the top 3 smells that are really hard when we go and we meet with a home seller and we say, your home has a strong odor. The top 3 smells, do you remember what they were? It was skunk, cigarette, skunk, and pets.
And pets,
Like
right.
Cat worse than dogs.
Right, and that kind of makes sense. We all know how lasting the urine smells can be, whether or not they actively do it in the house all the time, it still finds a way to linger.
Help, I need some guidance. Help, selling and buying. Help, I need some real estate. Help.
Welcome to Albuquerque Real Estate Talk. Tego has become so popular for public speaking and being on panels and boards that this week I get to take over, and I'm introducing Sam in front of the camera this week.
Finally.
So Tracy Venturi here with Real Broker in the Albuquerque metro area. Sam's our producer, and he does a lot of behind-the-scenes marketing for us. You're actually our director of marketing. So when you see things out there, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, marketing for properties, you're the magic behind all that.
Yep, exactly. I take care of listing videos, all of the fun stuff that we do on social media, and of course, producing these great podcasts.
Yeah. Well, welcome today to take the place of Tego. I know you've got the right shoes to fill that spot. So we have a lot of information today. We had a special guest in our office for our sales training this week. Very interesting about restoration. Mostly the things that would pertain to us in real estate would be properties that have maybe smoke smell or some other type of damage that needs fixing, like mold. The thing that was funny, Sam, is I didn't think of this. So I guess we'll go right into it.
Yep,
now I'm already talking
started,
about
yep.
it. Sorry, I was going to give you the rundown. So the top 3 smells that are really hard when we go and we meet with a home seller and we say, your home has a strong odor. The top 3 smells, do you remember what they were? It was cigarette, skunk, and pets.
And pets,
Like
right.
Cat worse than dogs.
Right, and that kind of makes sense. We all know how lasting the urine smells can be, whether or not they actively do it in the house all the time, it still finds a way to linger.
Yeah. So we are adding to our tool belt of resources and vendors, and we know a few people that do different types of restoration. This company does a lot of types of restoration and some of the minor reconstruction. So a lot of times if you have water, like your washing machine came apart and you flooded some areas of your house, your sheetrock, usually up to 18 inches, has to be removed and replaced. So in addition to making sure there's no mold from any water leak, right? They do that.
Well, and that was what was really interesting, was the vast services that they actually provide, because when you think about restoration, you just think of that exterior stuff. You don't think about the things that go deep into the surface of doing that type of thing. So yeah, it was really interesting.
Behind the walls. So I have a bad dog, Rico. He's our real estate dog. And sometimes Rico has accidents in the house and I think I have brick floors and I just clean it and no issues. Well, I think I might have a bigger problem if it's brick floors. I thought they're so impermeable. And he's like, no, there's probably still scent there.
Right. Well, and how they find stuff deep in the surface just from tiny little areas that you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah. Remember he said that he's had many times to replace, like really rip out all the floor tile because the urine can go right through the grout that is highly absorbed in the grout and it gets underneath into under the tile and everything.
Yeah.
That's a big dollar, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's, well, yeah, the smallest things seem to be the ones that take the most money to fix. So.
Yeah. So I was curious about my house because about 3 weeks ago, our dog Rico went out and got sprayed by a skunk. It was actually early morning and the skunk was on our patio. I let him out first thing in the morning and the skunk was right there. So of course he wanted to come right back in and rub on furniture. I caught him quickly because this is not the first time we've had skunk problems. And I wiped him down with paper towels, which I know is the thing. And then I did the mix to wash him with baking soda, peroxide, and dish soap. But like 3 weeks later, you can still smell a little bit of skunk in our house. And when Rico gets wet, you can still smell it on him.
It comes back out, yeah.
But luckily, I didn't have to hire the restoration company. Okay, so other things we're going to talk about. We have several testimonials that came in for people on our team. As you all know, we work as a team. We have people who specialize in helping home sellers, those specializing in working with home buyers, as well as a support staff. And we had several great feedbacks this week on testimonials online, on social media, Google.
Yeah, it's great. It's when the business starts to pick up, it's great because then people start really talking about our team. And so, do you want me to just get
Yeah,
into
go
right away?
through it. I
So
know.
we've got a new member on our team, Joaquin. He's completely new to the business, super young, and
Since January,
since
maybe?
the start of the year basically, and he's pretty much just jumped right into it. And so he got his second one ever just a couple weeks ago, and it's I searched on Zillow for land, and I came up with a contact for Joaquin Alandogan, who was always in communication with me on new land options, updates on land choices, and finally signing the final documents. I highly recommend working with Joaquin if you are in the Albuquerque area. So it's just really cool to see how
Yeah.
quickly you can jump into this stuff when you really have
Yeah.
all the right tools. And he's a really special kid as well.
Kid. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So you're aging yourself, Sam.
Yeah,
So there
exactly.
was also one for Sonia and Melissa.
Yep. Sonia just got one a couple days ago. She's also new to the team and she's been hitting the ground running as well.
That was new to the team last summer.
Oh, wow.
From
she's not even
working
that
in
new.
real
She's-
estate
Oh, yeah.
in Washington State and California.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. So she's already been here for almost a year. So.
Yeah.
And so she had a great little deal and a nice little testimonial. Great team, stuck with me during a difficult period with financing issues, made it to the finish line. Sonia Calvert was very professional and productive. And that's really the kind of feedback we get from Sonia. It's really awesome.
Sonia is so friendly and just loves to serve people. So it's nice to see her be recognized.
Yeah, and she's very active in all sorts of different things. She loves to go to open houses. She loves to go to broker events, all sorts of stuff. So she's very active. It's great to see.
Yep.
And then finally, we also got one from Melissa Romero. Countless ones from Melissa, but here's another one to add to her list. My partner and I were referred to Melissa Romero by a few close friends who had worked with her to purchase their first home, and we could not be more thrilled with how our experience played out. Melissa has an expert ability of turning the intimidating process of buying a home into a process that is accessible, streamlined, and even fun. So yeah, as you can tell, like
Awesome.
just in a couple weeks, we've
That's great.
gotten lots of shout outs for our team. So yeah, if you've actually had any great experiences with our team that you want to tell us about, you can always head to abq.re/testimonials and leave a nice Google experience for us. So
That'd be great.
just a
So
little plug in there.
we certainly appreciate all our clients and really want to make sure they all have 5-star experiences. And when you look at our Zillow profile or any of our brokers' profiles on Zillow or Google or Yelp or wherever, you'll see some awesome things that make you feel comfortable when you're calling our team. So speaking of, best way to reach us is just give us a call, 448-8888 here in the 505. Also online, welcomehomeabq.com. Obviously, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're everywhere. I know you can find us.
Yep, pretty much search Venturi Realty Group and you'll find us on all the socials.
So Tego's not here. So Sam, I'm going to try to do a quick summary of some stats for the Statomatic. I know I'm not a good substitute.
Keeping up with his legacy, I'm glad that you're doing it, not me.
Yeah. So if you really want to know the deeper dive, get on Tego's Facebook, get on Tego's Instagram, or does he Twitter too? He does.
Yeah.
I think he mostly looks at Twitter.
Yeah, I think he does some stuff on
But YouTube
Twitter
is
and
where a
X.
lot of it is, right?
Yeah.
And Facebook.
Facebook is where he does most of his personal stuff, definitely. Yep.
Uh-huh. So we're done with May. We're well into June now. It's the beginning of June, so the stats are in. Tego's charts that he posted, 17% more sales in May than in 2024 May. The supply is up since the low of February of 22nd of 2022. We're up considerably to the highest we've been. Days on market in the metro area, it took 10 days longer to get a house under contract than a year ago.
Okay.
So the days on market is a little bit longer, 32 days versus 22 days. Still very low, but we know there's extremes, right? This weekend, I put a home on the market. We had it open house on Saturday and Sunday, and we had 2 offers on Monday. So it's still, that one's going to be on the low end, but some are taking longer. But the thing that's going to be interesting, and Tego did a long post on this, is the headlines are going to come out as soon as the Albuquerque Association of Realtors posts the May numbers officially. the headline will be somewhat deceiving because it's going to say prices are down. And that drives Tego crazy because when you dig into it, the actual size of homes is also down, which would bring the prices down, right?
Right.
Yeah. So price per square foot is still going up, but the average size has come down, which has brought prices down a little bit.
Gotcha.
Not significant. So that's my very brief stats to fill in for Tego.
Well, and just to hammer that home, and what I've just taken from it when I hear Tego talk is that price per square foot really is the number you should be looking at.
I think
as
it's a
far
good
as,
indicator.
as a better indicator.
Yeah, a better indicator that gives some better depth to the statistics for sure. So I get to cover some properties, my favorite thing. I was out in Corrales today pounding a sign in the ground, and I told Sam on the way out, Sam's so kind, he offered to carry the sign to my car. I should have brought you along because what do I have? I have this huge hammer thing.
Oh, like a mallet,
Yeah.
like a rubber mallet.
It's not rubber though, it's metal.
Oh, metal on metal. Okay.
Metal. And so I'm out there. I said, well, it's rained. I bet this ground will be soft. I can get that sign in the ground. It was not easy.
No.
My arm's still like, oh, what did you do? But anyway, we just listed a property in Corrales, a piece of land. It's just a hair under 1 acre. It's in the valley between Loma Larga and Corrales Road, just north of what you would call the center of town. A really nice shaped lot if you're familiar with Corrales. Sometimes they're long and skinny. This one is not. It's a really nice shape. We checked with the planning and zoning of Corrales to make sure it was buildable for a single family residence. It is because they have strict rules about being a 1 acre minimum. And this one is like 0.94. So we just wanted to make sure. And they're like, yes, it's been grandfathered in. Anyway, that parcel is $275,000 if you're looking for a building site or just a place to put your beautiful animals, because Corrales is the horse capital of New Mexico and all sorts of other great things going on in Corrales. But I want to talk to you about 1019 Camino Ranchitos that went on the market this week.
Okay.
Camino Ranchitos is a property very near our office here in the far North Valley. And it's a single-story, really gracious luxury home that's been lovingly remodeled with hand-plastered walls, brand new kitchen. When I saw it for the first time a few months ago, Sam, the kitchen was empty. It was down to the studs.
Oh, really?
And I was like, the construction crew that was there said, yeah, this is the kitchen. I was like, okay, this is the kitchen. They hired a cabinet maker to build out the kitchen. It's really great. So 1019 Camino Ranchitos, it's listed at $1,649,900. It's just under 5,000 square feet and 5 bedrooms. The bedrooms are all really gracious and large. There's one bedroom that's close just off the backyard that has its own sort of ensuite bath. And it's like the bath is for the pool outside so that you can go right in the door there and get to a bathroom and not have wet all over your house. So the yard obviously has a gorgeous in-ground gunite swimming pool with an auto cover. There's a really great, poultry coop, chicken coop, duck coop, whatever. You know how I love those?
Yep.
It's a really nice one with a very nice enclosure to keep them safe. There's 3 combo units for heating and cooling. It's beautiful, white oak and stone floors and just everything you could want in a luxury property. So if you're interested in knowing more about that or going to see it, give us a ring. It will be open this weekend. So if you want to know about the open houses, you can check it out on our website at welcomehomeabq.com or give us a call. We'd be happy to tell you more about it. We have another property that will be open this weekend for the first time, just hitting the market. And this one's in North Rio Rancho on a larger lot. The address is 3217 Vetapa Road. It's a half-acre lot. The house is 2213 square feet, just built in 2023, Sam. So a very new home by Jewel Homes, LLC. 4 bedrooms. It's listed at $539,999, and it's a very nice custom home. So if you're looking for something like that on a larger lot, it's available this weekend.
Great.
So there we go on that.
Oh, and just to jump back to Camino Ranchitos really quick, one of the things that I noticed, and one of the things that actually Jane and Estelle, they're going to do a fun little video that has a bunch of really cool hidden features. One of the just some of the ones that I saw just from the pictures were, it has a little hidden yoga room in one of the areas. It's stuff that you wouldn't find necessarily just looking at the pictures. So be on the lookout for that, because Estelle and Jane, they've got something really fun in mind for that.
Great. So also, Sam, we had a conversation with Tego a few weeks back about house hacking. And it was interesting because there was a lot of interest in house hacking. And the takeaway was we need to talk about hacking more, house hacking more. But one of the things that's interesting is we had a fourplex that we had on the market that we didn't know how much people would be interested in it. It's north of I-40, east of I-25, Carlisle, Montgomery-ish area. And so a fourplex for sale. And what we learned is the buyer is planning to live in one and rent out the other three, and then his mortgage will be paid by the other three.
Right.
So I wish in Albuquerque we had more duplexes and fourplexes available that people could do that, because a lot of first-time home buyers could really benefit from being able to buy like a duplex in a neighborhood that they're comfortable in and rent out one side and have the other one as their primary home. And that's how we can help build wealth through real estate, because that might be their first home, but it'll lead them to another opportunity perhaps down the road.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because I just forwarded on a message that was left yesterday on the same house hacking video that was asking questions. So we're definitely, that got a lot of interest from people that it wasn't on their radar, but now it is. And so that's really, it's really cool.
And Sally on our team, Sally's our office manager. A few years back, she had a friend who had a duplex near Constitution in Pennsylvania, right across from Anna Caseman Hospital.
Okay.
We're pretty close to Anna Caseman Hospital. And her friend needed to sell that duplex, and Sally went ahead and bought it herself. And over the years, it's been a great investment property for her. And her daughter has lived there occasionally. She's rented out both sides occasionally, but the rent more than makes up for the cost of the mortgage. So
Wow.
she's so thankful that opportunity came and she was open to it. So anyway, that's the hacking, house
Yeah,
hacking.
and it really does sound like a hack, because it sounds like something that shouldn't really exist, but it really does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So if you're looking to buy or sell, or you just have questions, just reach out. We'd be happy to talk to you. Sam, I wanted to talk a little bit about real estate marketing and photography and the whole marketing package. I met with a home seller yesterday. Gabe Salazar on our team and I went and met with a home seller. And I was thinking about all the things we put together for a newly listed property that we represent. And you do a lot of that.
Yes.
Right. Tell me a little bit about some of the things where your hands are in the pot on getting that marketing done, because we hire professional photographers, but then from there we do a lot more.
Well, and that's pretty much where I take over once we get those really nice, beautiful, professional photographs. And then in between, then our listing manager goes through and finds the exact pictures that she wants to use, so that we're putting the best face forward for it. And then after that, it's really just hitting all of the markets with something a little bit different on each one. So I'll make an Instagram video, a Facebook video, a YouTube video, all for just the newly listed video. But in each one, I'll use variations of colors and different music and different photos. So if we have followers across all platforms, they're not seeing the exact same thing. And then after that, we take all those links and we build out what we call a master link for each house. And so then we can send it to the client and they can send it out to anybody. And it has the MLS listing. It has a branded website for the home. It has all of the listing videos, and it has the 3D tour, which is another thing that is really cool thing that we get from our photography, is we also get a really nice interactive virtual 3D tour. And so we make sure that they have access to that. And then every time an open house comes up, which hopefully after the first couple, we don't have to update it much anymore. But if we need to, we always update the upcoming open houses for any of the listings that are coming. And so we really just try and keep everything in front of people on a consistent basis. And so if we have a listing that's been up for a while, we might repost that listing video, especially if it has a price update.
Yeah. So That's a lot, Sam. I know how many hours you spend working on them. And when we put a property to market, we want to make sure it's perfect. We want the photos great. We don't want it to hit Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia and all those other websites, even multiple listing service. We don't want it to hit with a blank photos coming soon, right? Because we know buyers don't go back and look for it again. They get it in their inbox or their feed and they go to it once. And if it doesn't capture them, they don't go back, right? We
Right.
missed the opportunity of the big splash. So we do this whole thing on most properties, Sam, the coming soon period.
Yep.
And that's part of where we're working with our home sellers to get all the media ready and all the marketing ready so that we have up to 2 weeks to do coming soon where it doesn't go out to all the other websites, but we can start marketing it to the realtors while we're making sure that we've tweaked everything and that when we do go active, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great time period to do all of those little tweaks that you're talking about to get people's feedback on price, on maybe this photo is better, because it's we tend to want to put that front of the house picture, but a lot of times maybe that's not the best picture. This most actually it was Camino Ranchitos. We led with the pool because it's
Stunning
a
backyard.
stunning
Yeah.
backyard, amazing pool, and that's really what it's all about, is grabbing them with that first image. And so, yeah, if the first thing that they see is no picture available,
Yeah.
you're behind the eight ball already.
Well, we're pretty fortunate to have you on our team, Sam. Not many real estate teams have full-time marketing person working just for them, and our clients get that benefit, of course, of your knowledge and your skill and all the things that you do to help market their properties successfully. And it shows in the results for sure, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we
Tracy, I know you had also wanted to talk a little bit about the relocation guide.
Oh, sure. So, Sam, we get clients from all over the world, not just from the United States. I've helped people who were stationed in Afghanistan, in Germany, in England. We've helped a lot of people locally and afar. And we have a written relocation guide that I wrote, I edit, and then I get input from team members on different things because I like to focus on making sure that when we're getting somebody from out of area, we can share that relocation guide through email as an attachment to them so that they can get familiar with our market. But mostly it's about neighborhoods. And I feature things like North Valley, West Side, Corrales, Placitas, Las Lunas, Northeast Heights, East Mountains. So it's like we've taken and segmented the whole metro area and talked a little bit about them. So a lot of it's from my viewpoint, my favorite restaurants, my favorite shops, my favorite walking trails, my favorite parks, all the things I love about different parts of town over the years. And I try to update it occasionally because things change. We talk about who the builders are, what kind of homes you can get in those neighborhoods, what the general prices are. We update that once a year, of the low and the high and the average price per square foot, so you can get a feel for that. But if you know anybody who is maybe relocating to the area or thinking about it, connect us, get them on our website or have them call and ask for our relocation guide. And we'd be happy to get that emailed over to them or just talk through it too. We've done a lot of online kind of consultations with prospective relocating people that want to maybe buy in our market. We can get on Zoom or Google Meets or Messenger or any of those platforms and go through it and answer their questions. It's interesting that in an hour or hour and a half on the phone, Sam, we can get people to feel really comfortable, like they're going to know that they're well taken care of and get a good feel for what options might be in New Mexico. Most people say I've driven through New Mexico or through Albuquerque, right?
Well, yeah,
But
people know about Albuquerque because of those Bugs Bunny cartoons, and
Right.
that's the first thing, or maybe Route 66.
what is it?
So
It took a
took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
wrong turn. Wrong turn at Albuquerque. And then the Breaking Bad, everybody goes, oh, Breaking Bad, Albuquerque. So talking to a real person who lives here is a good thing. We have a whole team of realtors who would be happy to do a consultation and a get to know our market if that would be helpful.
Just because you happen to say it, I'm just curious. Do people ask about Breaking? Be like, does it bring a sort of stereotype about Albuquerque?
Are you kidding?
I figured it must to mention this.
Of course it does. The other thing is we go to a lot of real estate conventions and things like that around the country where we mingle with other realtors, not just with Real Broker, but a lot of times cross brokerages. And so the people we meet, you go and you sit at breakfast with them or lunch or on the breakouts and things, and they always ask about Breaking Bad. It comes up like all the time.
Right. And do you think that, like, do you
They
spend a
think it
lot of
hurts?
time doing,
Damage
some damage
control?
control on it?
Well, I do usually. I think my standard line is pretty much like, "Oh yeah, it's unsafe and we have drugs everywhere in Albuquerque." Right? I
Right.
make a joke of it
Yeah. Oh,
usually.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, nobody would want to live there.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Interesting.
but it is something. So, someone that's thinking of relocating, we'd be happy to help them get familiar with the area and see if there's a right fit for them. Do you know also that we cover Santa Fe? And Santa Fe is a hot destination. A lot of people have been looking at Santa Fe lately. It's more affordable. The people who were looking at Austin or Phoenix seem to be going to Santa Fe these days. Actually, one of the stats I saw about a month ago showed a lot of people from the East Coast, the New Jersey, Manhattan, New York City area, a lot of people looking at Santa Fe right now. How different are they, right? New York City to Santa
I was
Fe,
just going to say, yeah.
the
I'm wondering-
architecture.
I'm wondering how they
How they fit in.
focused on,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how long they actually stay once they move to Santa Fe, but
right.
or what the outgoing is like in Santa Fe. But so we cover Santa Fe. If you're looking at Santa Fe, we have people that can help there as well. So we'd be happy to help with the relocation or whatever we can help with.
Great.
Okay. I think that's it, Sam.
Yeah, I think
So
that's it.
we'll have to tell Tego you missed out.
Yeah, this was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun experience. Fun to be on the front end of the camera for
Yeah.
once.
Appreciate your time, Sam.
Yeah, I
Appreciate what you
appreciate
do.
you. Thank you. If you need to get a hold of us, you can always get a hold of us at 505-448-8888 or check us out at welcomehomeabq.com.
Yep.
And
Online.
hit subscribe on YouTube. Check out our other podcast, Live Love New Mexico, every Monday. Just a little shameless plug there because I help host that one as
I
well.
love that one. It's good. It's like local.
Yeah, we talk about real estate, but we also cover all sorts of other local fun stuff. So we will talk to you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. We appreciate you. And please click subscribe. We'll keep you updated on what's going on with real estate in the Albuquerque area and New Mexico, and of course, across the entire country. Have a great one.